Hi, my name is Maddie. Welcome back to my channel and happy spooky season. If you notice that there's like these lights on this side of the camera, that is because my screen protector on my phone is currently broken and I cannot get a new one at the moment. So it's reflecting those. Right now it's not really a problem. I think it looks kind of cool, but we'll see if it becomes a problem in editing. In the theme of the holiday, I really wanted to do a video talking about the movies, TV shows, things that scared me when I was a kid. And when I say kid, I mean like probably ages 5 to 10, somewhere around there. Some of these are probably considered pretty normal. Some of them, maybe not so much. I'll admit, I was kind of a weird kid. I have a few outliers, so some of these technically aren't movies or TV shows, they're just things. But in the end, they all kind of scared me, in a way. And when I say scared, some of the times things actually did scare me, but most of the time it was, they gave me anxiety, and I just like couldn't deal with that, so then I would have to turn things off. The first thing I have is Spooky Buddies. If you didn't know, Spooky Buddies is the Halloween movie of the Buddies franchise, and the movie is about a puppy named Pip, and he gets cursed, so then the rest of the buddies have to like help him. Fun fact, Pip is voiced by Frankie Jonas. I learned that from Google. Thank you, Google. This is one of my favorite Halloween movies, and it has been literally since I watched it for the first time. I first watched it at my cousin's house when I was a kid. They loved this movie, and they were a little bit older than me. So they were like, Maddie, you have to watch this. The particular part that scared me as a kid was when Pip gets turned to stone and then subsequently a ghost. I didn't have a dog then, I do now. But I was very afraid that that was going to happen in real life to any dog, and I was very worried. The second thing that scared me was not the villain of the movie. Couldn't care less about that guy. It was the Halloween Hound, which is like the dog he works with. And I think that he can like eat dogs' souls, and that really freaked me out. I didn't like that. I rewatch it every year now, but for the first few years, I think there was like a time where I had to like close my eyes or I had to leave the room. I couldn't handle it. Second thing I have is Girl vs. Monster. If you don't know, Girl vs. Monster is about Olivia Holt fighting monsters with her friends who are afraid of everything. This is a Disney Channel original movie. This is probably my second favorite Halloween movie. I'm not sure. I can't rank them all. I like a lot, so it's one of my favorites for sure. And it was especially my favorite as a kid because I had a massive crush on Luke Benward. The one thing that really scared me as a kid, and I still don't like it now, but I'm not like scared that I have to leave the room. That was probably a thing that happened when I was a kid. Was the scarecrow guy that Henry, I think I'm haunted. I really didn't like the part where he gets defeated and he like crumples down and like disappears. You would think that since he's defeated, I wouldn't care. No, that actually scared me more. I'm not sure how that's possible. The second thing was Diamata, not as like the entire character. I actually didn't mind her at all, except for this one specific scene in the show. I'll try and find the clip for it. Not only could I not find this clip, but I'm pretty confident that I made it up and I'm misremembering things that are happening because I remember a specific scene in my head that does not translate in that entire movie. So I made it up, but just imagine that she's like doing something really weird with her head because sometimes her head like spins in a circle. So I think it was something like that, and I kind of just made something up along those lines. The thing I have is this random Jessie episode, specifically season 4, episode 18 of Jessie, Ghostess with the Mostest. Jessie and friends are being chased by this ghost. I actually think it might just be the kids. Jessie has her own plotline in this episode with Tony, I think. I literally don't know. I haven't seen this in forever. Basically, the ghost name is Abigail, and she is trying to like scare the kids. I'm not really sure. The ghost is actually Stuart, dressed up as the ghost. And I forget what his reasons are for being a ghost and trying to scare people. I think there's like an overall thing. I'm unsure. Fun fact, this episode was part of the Monstober crossover episodes, and I'm pretty sure that this one was the one with I Didn't Do It, which is a show that I watched. There's a specific part that scared both me and my sister like shitless. We hated this part. And it's at the very end when Abigail the ghost, the real one this time, not Stuart, is like in the TV screen and she just kind of like turns around and like smiles really creepily. And we hated this, hated it. We still talk about it to this day. Like, it was the scariest thing that we've ever seen in our entire lives. Every time it would rerun, I couldn't handle it. I would have to close my eyes, and my sister would have to leave the room. She can attest to this. I am not making this up. I don't think I've seen this since the last time it reran, and I don't intend on rewatching it. It's just not something I need to see anymore. There was also a part, I'm not sure if my sister cared about this part, but me specifically, there was like a part when Stuart is still the ghost and he crawls out of this TV. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that concept. That's just not for me. Usually those Disney Channel Halloween specials never got to me because they're not really that scary. I think it was just something about this one really freaked me out. The next thing I have is Muppets Most Wanted. Notice how this is not a Halloween movie. If you've never seen this movie, I actually wouldn't blame you. This movie is about the Muppets, if you can believe it. And they're going on tour, I think. Kermit gets his identity stolen by this grog named Constantine, and then Kermit actually ends up going to jail. I'm fairly confident that he meets up with the Muppets at the end, but at the same time, I've seen this movie once in total. So I went to go see this movie in theaters when it came out with a friend of mine because I had a fat crush on Ross Lynch as a child. It's a very long story. I really liked Teen Beach Movie. I'm pretty sure I had his face on a pillowcase, and that's very weird to say. And this is my public announcement to say sorry to Ross Lynch. I'm so sorry that I was so weird as a kid. I'm pretty confident he was only in the movie for like maybe 5 seconds. I didn't really like movie theaters as a kid. I was kind of iffy on them in general. Like if you've ever seen the episode of Bluey when Bluey goes to the movie theater and she doesn't like it, that was me. The only two movies I really remember seeing in theaters that like made an impression on my life was Frozen and Muppets Most Wanted. I was doing just fine until the part where Kermit gets his identity stolen by Constantine and he goes to jail. I absolutely hated this. I hate the idea of replacing someone in their life and no one around them notices. I think that eventually they do figure out that that's not Kermit. I think they like piece enough clues together and they're like, oh yeah, this is not our friend Kermit. This is some random dude, because I'm pretty sure Constantine has an accent. I'm unsure how they didn't figure that out. As I said, I've only seen this movie the one time I saw it in theaters. I don't think I'd ever felt as much anxiety that I did in this moment as a kid, and I like couldn't handle it, and so I asked my mom to go to the bathroom. I did not have to go to the bathroom. I'm literally not sure what happened after that. I think I might have blanked out the rest because I have no clue. I don't intend to rewatch this movie. I feel like I will get the same amount of anxiety that I felt the first time. The next is Good Luck Charlie Christmas. As you might imagine, this is a Christmas movie. This movie is about the Duncan family going on Christmas vacation to their grandparents' house. Teddy and Amy miss the plane, and so they have to find an alternate way to get there. You can imagine the amount of chaos that ensues because of this. Now, I think I've seen this movie one time in full and maybe 15 other times in different fragments. During the holidays, Disney Channel would play this all the time, as you might imagine. Now, similar to the last one, this movie didn't really scare me. There's not scary parts of this movie. It was the anxiety I felt when Amy and Teddy just missed the plane and they couldn't find a way back. That freaked me out. I didn't like the idea of being stranded, and I still don't. I was very thankful whenever they would cut back to the boys at the grandparents' house. I'm pretty sure at some point I started changing the channel. I said I can't do this anymore. Hence all the fragments that I've seen. I don't know if I've seen the end. Maybe this Christmas. We'll give it another go. The next thing I have is Phineas and Ferb Across the Second Dimension. Once again, not a Halloween movie. At least it's not a Christmas movie. This movie is about Phineas and Ferb finding out that Perry's a secret agent, and then they get trapped in another dimension called the second dimension. I loved Phineas and Ferb when it was airing. I still do, but I absolutely hated this movie when I was younger. I really like it now, just in case you were wondering, but I really did not. I could not watch this movie as a kid because I could never make it past the point where Phineas yells at Perry for lying and not saying that he was a secret agent. It made me really sad, and I was worried that he would like never love him again. And I was like, I just can't handle it, so I would have to change the channel. If only I had known there was a Phineas and Isabella kiss at the end, I think I would have died as a kid, so maybe it's good that I had seen that. But if only I could get through a conflict-driven story, maybe I would have known. This next one is a little bit weird, so bear with me. It's Ronald McDonald, but believe it or not, this has nothing to do with the McDonald's franchise. So I was at my cousin's house a lot as a kid, and some are a bit older than me, so they knew about things like the internet that I didn't really know about. That is how I got introduced to YouTube. One fateful day, we were watching some random shit, like probably 2012. I think it was around 2012, most likely. And I think they must have picked the video. I'm not sure. It probably came up in the recommended. I don't know. It was a wild place back then. And there was this video, and Ronald McDonald was in it. I have tried for the life of me to find this video again, because I know it's not exactly what I remember it being, but like I can't find it anywhere. I cannot find it on YouTube. I have like Googled nothing. There's nothing I can do. So if one of you guys know what this is, please comment it. Please, I need to know. But because of this, I will give you the best description of what I think happens in the video. So there's this guy, and he's in a building, and then suddenly he has to like leave. So he gets all his like papers and like I think it's like an office building. He gets all his stuff, runs down the stairwell, and then he jumps the fence in like the back of the building, and then he's in like the woods. Don't ask me how he got there. I'm not sure why there's woods, but there was woods. And he's like running around, and then Ronald McDonald is there, and he like pew pew with a yeah. And that's like the end of the video. Believe it or not, that experience made me afraid of Ronald McDonald and most clowns for that matter. Only my sister remembers this like memory that I have, so I feel like I'm alone in this essentially because my sister is an extension of me. We're like the same person, therefore like if she has the same memory, I'm like that's not helpful. It's like okay great, I already knew that. This next one is almost identical to the last one, and that is Evil Elmo. Once again, I was at my cousin's house, we were watching YouTube. The cycle continues. If I'm not mistaken, this might have been the same day. I think it was a different day though, because at this point I think I'd gotten over Ronald McDonald. I think it was like maybe a month, and I was like, okay, I'm over that now. And then the cycle continued, and so I also cannot find this video. I'm sure it's gone now. It makes me so sad because I just know for a fact this one was really dumb. It's actually kind of embarrassing how I got scared by this. So this video was called Evil Elmo, and I could not tell you what this video entails. I'm not sure what happened. It must have been Elmo being evil. as the title might suggest. Because of this, I was very scared of the idea of evil Elmo existing. I didn't like that. I really liked Elmo as a kid, not as much as my sister. She loved him, and if I didn't say that, I feel like she would get mad at me and be like, I liked him more than you did, which is true. She did. So there you go. But I had this Elmo toy, I still have it to this day, and he sings a little song. And I was not scared of my Elmo toy. I was just scared of the concept of evil Elmo. I'm not sure how those two things can exist at the same time, but it happened. I'm a complicated person, I guess. In a very similar vein, we also watched a video called Evil Cookie Monster. This didn't actually scare me because I didn't give a shit about Cookie Monster, but I mean, we still watched it and I was like, okay, well, I guess Evil Cookie Monster also could exist. Yeah. I do believe it took me a little bit longer to get over this. I'm not sure why. If I could get into my psyche as a kid, oh my gosh, that would make me so happy. I want to know what's going on in there. Now the next one is very good. It's very funny. It's Five Nights at Freddy's. If you don't know, Five Nights at Freddy's, it's a horror game franchise. It started in 2014. Still going today. If you watch my channel, then you should know because I have a video talking about it. So I have a really good story about this, but I've already told it on a podcast that I have with my sister. God, I know another podcast in this world, I'm aware, but it's really funny and I don't want to repeat it because I've already said it perfectly. So I'll just put the clip.
Yeah, my childhood friend, he had FNAF and he would play it and while we were at his house and we would like watch him play it. And this is such a funny story. I got so scared from that game. I was like freaking out. And then that night I couldn't go to bed. Like I could not sleep at all. And so then like I told my mom, I was like, I need to like, I can't sleep. I need to like, she's like, you can't sleep in my bed. You are like way too old for that. And so then I slept on the couch, which in hindsight was even scarier because like I could see the entire house.
There's a lot of open doorways.
Yes, that was really scary. But so I couldn't sleep at all. And I didn't really sleep, so it didn't really matter. And I stayed up the entire night watching Victorious. But the thing is like Victorious wasn't running on the TV. It was on my Kindle, shout out my Kindle, pretty back to me sitting on the couch. And like it was so dark in there and I was like,
See, I think I got like secondhand scared of FNAF because of that. Like you got so scared that I got more scared.
it was so bad. I don't even remember. I think it was like the jump scare aspect that scared me. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't really like,
And also Freddy was just freaky.
yeah, he kind of scared me.
Thank you, Maddie. Very great story. And my hair looked so bad. Awesome. This is the last one I have, and it's Slappy from Goosebumps. He's a puppet, and he's scary. What more can I say, actually? To be specific, it was actually this Slappy. Not that there's much of a difference, but I think it was just like, maybe he just looked so polished, and I didn't like that. Nickelodeon would play the commercial for this all the time. And all I wanted to do was watch Night Squad, and I couldn't watch Night Squad because this stupid commercial would come on and I would have to close my eyes. I think I was probably in middle school at this point. So this is actually really embarrassing. Thank you so much for watching. I hope these stories about my very weird childhood were entertaining. I'm sure that there's more things that I probably forgot, but I'm sure I blanked them out of my memory, so I wouldn't know. Check out for more videos soon. I finally have some more free time so I can get through my backlog of videos that I just have scripts done for, but have had no time to film. That's all for me. Bye-bye.